Time is of the essence.
Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
As we go for the world's largest cuckoo clock.
I've never built a clock before. Why not start with the biggest one ever?
We're all going cuckoo. Find out who's going to go crazy this week as we go for a Guinness World Record on big.
The cuckoo clock was invented almost 300 years ago in the Black Forest of Germany. The timekeeping technology hasn't changed. No batteries, no transistors, no electricity. The design and engineering are centuries-old perfection.
But they're too small. So I'm going for the world's largest hanging cuckoo clock. We've set several Guinness World Records in this shop, and we're gonna try to do it again. We're gonna build a 15-foot tall cuckoo. It's gonna be powered by 2 hanging weights. The weights keep tension on the gears, generating the rotation. One weight is connected to the gears that move the hour and minute hand. A pendulum connected to an escapement arm regulates how fast those gears turn. The gears move with every swing of the pendulum, keeping the clock in time. The other weight rotates a separate set of gears that release the cuckoo and an accordion-like bellow system, which expands and contracts with air and makes the cuckoo sound. This is the most complicated build we've ever tackled, so we're bringing a couple ringers in here to help Gadget, Lisa, and Eric. First off is Kurt Schaefer. He's a master carpenter. And I'm bringing back Christoph Kuhn, our sculptor extraordinaire. And our expert guest builder this week is Rolf Lehmann, a master cuckoo clock woodworker from the Black Forest in Germany. He's been working on cuckoo clocks most of his life. The thing is, he doesn't speak a lick of English. So I got him an interpreter.
He's doing it since 20 years. He absolutely loves what he does. But it's more about the handiwork itself, not the clock. If he's quite honest, he would not put it in his living room.
All that, and only 5 days to build it. Welcome to the big time.
Here we are. Yeah.
Parts have arrived. Chain?
Kette?
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 Das Rad?
Ja?
Yeah? Okay. So we've got the chain wheel that will operate the counterweights and drive the clock. We have some material to make our own bellows now. This is an open, non-precision bearing. These will be set into the wood pieces to run all our gears on. We have this threaded rod to space and sandwich the plates between the different gear trains. And then I'm using these as flanges. We're gonna take these and we're gonna screw them onto the wood plates in order to transfer the energy from those to the shaft to whatever gear on the other end. So that should simplify things really nicely. And there you have it.
Team designer Gadget had just 5 days to crank out plans for the giant cuckoo.
Of all the builds we've done so far, this one is the most complicated and has to be the most precise. Clocks are made with brass gears, steel gears. In the earliest days, they were all made with wood and with pins, which actually is what we'll do on ours. It's a simpler method of manufacturing than having to cut all these gears exactly the same. What we're going to do is we'll have gears that are called daisy wheels, and then the large gears have little pins on them that engage the daisies. That way, all we have to do is lay out a series of holes, drill them, and then put the pins in.
Master carpenter Kurt gets started on the bandsaw, cutting out the daisy wheel gears.
This is the template for the gear. So we have about 30 pieces to make like this.
Sculptor Christoph gets started by sculpting a fortress for his foam work.
When I start grinding the styrofoam, I'm gonna have foam pellets just flying everywhere. So I'm gonna try to contain it.
Christoph will carve the decorative trim for this cuckoo out of 2-pound foam.
We're going to carve this out of foam.
German clockmaker Rolf helps ensure the design is authentic.
He comes all the way from the Black Forest. We have to put a pencil in his hand and let him get some work done here.
He actually was worried before about how you would do it with wood because it takes so much more time. So it's a very good idea to use the foam, and he thinks it will work very well.
Yeah. Ralph came in and did all the artwork on the bird here, so now I'm going to try to follow his line and cut it all out with my handmade hot wire.
Christoph's homemade foam cutting device uses an electrically charged heated wire to slice the styrofoam like butter.
This is 2-pound foam. It's a little thicker than normal styrofoam. Like if it was a styrofoam cup, that would be 1-pound foam. But 2-pound foam is very rigid. I have to work it a little slower. And when I was working in marble in Italy, it would take months to chisel out a block of white marble like this.
With the last cut made, Rolf gives the decoration some artistic punch.
That's kind of cute. You're kind of dangerous with that hammer. Oh, that noise. Hey, I'm leaving. Bye, Christoph. Bye.
That's a shame.
Kannst du erklären, normalerweise der höchste Punkt?
Birds are one of my favorite things to make.
As Christoph's ornamental bird takes flight, Eric admires his handiwork.
I think the guy has some pretty cool talent. I walked in there and I was like, he had that little wire thing and he said he homemade it. And I'm like, oh. Looks pretty nice, Christoph. Is it a pterodactyl? Origami? Yeah. So he's in there like having his own party. It's kind of like, you don't let him out until he's ready.
You know, when I went to the Oktoberfest, everybody was drinking too much beer, and then they started doing this chicken dance thing. How's it go? There we go, we got it. Oh, this helps me work. I'm working better already.
Okay, folks, builders, I'm glad you guys are going to be able to take a moment from the build right now. So I want to introduce someone here. His name's Stuart Claxton. He's from the Guinness Book of World Records. And I think that said, I'll let you have the table.
All right. Guinness World Records is all about ordinary, everyday people doing extraordinary things. A Guinness World Record as such must be 3 things. One must be, it must be measurable. You can't say something like, he's got the record for the funniest laugh or something like that. It's got to be something that's finite. Verifiable, so of course everything must be documented and verified as such. And of course, as I say, by definition, it must be breakable. It must be something that actually somebody somewhere can break. I hope that kind of puts you in the zone. I wish you all the best with your work on the Cuckoo clock, and thank you for having me.
All right, Stuart, thank you.
And this wide point here, pivot point.
Kurt gets started drilling out the holes for the large gears. For the clock to keep proper time, the placement of the holes must be precise.
What really drew me here was the world record. I really wanted to be part of that, you know. If I had to figure it out, I don't think it'd work. I've done a lot of different things, but there's really nothing that can compare to building the world's largest cuckoo clock. Have another gear.
These are roll pins, and they'll drive against our little sort of flower petal gears. Okay. They seem to be fitting.
Gadget hammers out the roller pins to create gears for the clock.
Sweet, huh?
Now we'll see if some of these are tight. Maybe we'll loosen the pattern up a little bit. And...
Told him it reminded me of the 60s hippies.
Yeah.
Love child.
Eric and Lisa chop steel tube that will become the cage for our colossal cuckoo.
We love metal.
The Eric and Lisa Weld Fest turns into an international love fest as Lisa invites Rolf to a welding lesson.
He never did it, ever.
Underwear, I'll show you before you leave.
Sie wird es dir beibringen.
Oh. Okay. That'll make you feel good. All right. All right.
Ach so.
Yes. Okay. Go faster. Ralph is just, He's excited about what we're doing, and he just fits right in. Not bad, first go round. Good job.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a first-class weld.
It looks like throwing sparks could be the next big thing in international diplomacy.
Woo! Hey, shake it, baby. That's right. You know, we can't verbally speak to each other in the same language. You know, you could just feel it.
The frame looks finished, but Eric has found a flaw.
The outside has got a bunch of welds, and on those welds, if you notice, they stick out or they protrude, which means we can't actually put the wood up against it flat, so we're supposed to sand them off, you know? I think I put them together wrong, so I made a little mistake, you know? So as you notice, I'd already sanded the whole thing and just realized that I welded it together wrong. So I figured I'll just get a ladder and start fixing the mistake before anybody notices. Not like it's a structural problem, but I do have to make sure the wood's gonna sit on the right. Hey, look, Mom, no hands. Probably dangerous, huh? Not really.
Coming up, the gears get going, but will this clock drive our team over the cuckoo's nest?
Well, the plan today is we're laying out the foam block and cutting out our whole pattern for the face of the cuckoo clock.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna lay out all the leaves all the way around it, and then we'll take them apart and cut them all up inside the shop. Okay. So we have a lot to work on today.
Ihr habt einiges zu tun.
Ja, dann müssen wir loslegen.
Ja, start.
Start.
All right, start. Let's get moving. You get one chance to measure it right. Actually measure twice and cut once on this guy because we only have this much foam. This is 1/2, that's 2/3. So it has to be 2/3 over this dotted line that I've made because if 6 is 8 feet, this one here is only 1/3 over. I just go like this, you know. I think I measure a little bit, but I really don't analyze as much as I should.
Er analysiert nicht so viel wie wir Deutschen.
Ach so.
But in the end, it works, you know?
Well, right now, Lisa and I are laying out the works for the clock. This is basically that little brass plate on the back of the clock. These are the plates that separate all the gears inside the clock. Once these are done, they'll be separated by spacers, and then we can fit all the gears inside and set this thing in motion. My build goal for today was to have these plates cut, and I'd love to see all the gears in it. I think that's really pushing it, but I'd like to go for it.
So, Gadget, tell me the difference between wood and metal in our building process.
Basically, when we're doing metal, it's more of an additive process where we cut pieces and we put them together and make bigger things out of it. Where with wood, it's a subtractive process where we'll start with the larger pieces and cut away. You know, like with this, we start with a whole sheet and we'll cut holes in it, or we'll start with a big log and carve it down. So I would consider metal to be an additive process and wood to be a subtractive process.
It's pretty unique. I like that.
The gearbox is a stack of 3 layers of gears. The first layer contains the gear that regulates the hour hand.
What I'm doing now is our first layup to see how everything fits. And then eventually we'll put in the bearings and put it together and get it spinning. It goes this way. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Here's the back.
Look at that. Look at that, Kurt.
The next gear that I'm putting on sits here. This is the one that has the weight on it. The counterweight's attached through these holes and onto this chain wheel, and it's what drives the clock. This is actually the shaft that's gonna drive our hour hand. And it drops. The pendulum swings once every 4 seconds. This has 15 teeth, so that means that'll go around once a minute. That'll be our second hand. So we'll have seconds, minutes, and hours here.
What we're gonna do next, Ralph, is we're gonna take all these parts now that we laid it all out, and we're gonna cut it up.
Ihr habt alles jetzt ausgeschnitten und aufgemalt. Jetzt wird reingetragen und mit der Maschine rausgeschnitten.
And that's what they do in Germany, right? They cut one side, use that as a pattern, and flip it over and trace it, right?
Ist gut. Ist okay.
So we're following.
Ist gut.
All right, let's take it to the cutting board.
Working as a team, Christoph and Rolf cut out the decorative trim for the face of the cuckoo. A job that would take weeks to carve out of wood is accomplished in the cushy space of 2 hours with foam.
Voila! Well, there we have it, yeah?
Ja,
Yeah, it's good.
mit morgen schon gedacht, weil ich habe gedacht, wie macht er? Da muss ja.
Yeah. He was wondering all day of like how you decide to figure this one out.
It's a visual thing.
Er ist mehr der visuelle.
Oh, wow.
Well, there we have it. Well, I'm sitting here in the afternoon of the second day, and we've got quite a bit accomplished. As far as the timeline goes, I think I've got one more good day of foam work to do. After that, it's got to get plastic coated, and then I got to get on it and start faux painting, get that wood grain effect going on the foam.
Solvang is a Danish town north Los Angeles, known by many as the cuckoo capital of California. So that's where I came to find out about clocks and how they work. This is one amazing clock.
This is a prime example of Black Forest clockmaking from about the 1840 period. It has a wooden movement as well as this beautiful wooden case. It's selling right now for around $95,000.
$95,000? Wow, that's pretty neat, Ron. What is it?
This is an automatic changer which plays 15.5-inch steel records.
Looks like a giant CD player.
Right, or a lot of people equate it to a jukebox. It sells for around $35,000.
Okay, now this is the clock I'm used to.
Yes, this is a classic example of a wall-hanging cuckoo clock. It's from about the middle 1800s.
Oh, is that old?
Yes, this is very old. And this is what we call a cuckoo and quail clock. It has two birds, the cuckoo and the quail.
Oh, that's great.
And, a clock like this is valued around $1,500.
Wow, this is neat. What is it?
It's an automatic violin and piano called the Violano Virtuoso, made around 1912 in Chicago by the Mills Novelty Company. This one just sold for $72,000.
Holy cow.
Yes. A vintage Timex from 2002, battery operated, rubber strap.
How much is it worth?
Worth every bit of $39.95.
We're gonna start working on the housing. We're getting ready to join the pieces to sheet the front of the clock with. We're gonna join them up and then cut some slots. We're gonna put some biscuits in between them. We'll put these in the slots. We got wet glue here, so we are gluing, these are the top pieces. Glue both pieces together, and that should give us a real strong joint.
No.
There you go. Be nice to it.
And we're gluing these together because these are the roof pieces.
These are the roof pieces.
So check this out, Ralph. My mother-in-law is from close to where you're from in Germany, and she has the same last name and spelling as you do.
Wie du und ist aus der Nähe, wo du geboren bist.
Das ist sehr interessant. Das kann man sich gar nicht vorstellen. Ich komme nach Amerika
Funny
und
circumstances, very small world. He's coming for the first time to America, and there's a person in your family that is from where he is and carries the same name.
I know, that's what I was saying. And tell him, let me get some information where he's at and his numbers and stuff so we can still contact him.
Ja, dass du ihm halt sagst, wo du wohnst, wo du zu Hause. Ja,
Ja.
he will write the address down for you.
And does he have a computer?
Bis ich erst mal anrufe zu Hause. Ich weiß E-Mail gar nicht.
He doesn't know his email address, so he has to check with the people at
I don't
home.
mind either.
Ich bin ja kein Computerfreak.
Kennt seine auch nicht.
Right up. Let's spin it. Spin it right now.
Now they are all supported properly.
See?
With the sheets of plywood joined together, the team starts skinning their giant birdhouse.
Hallo. Kuckuck.
So,
Okay.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön.
The German guy, Rolf, he rocks out with his socks out. And then his interpreter, Nadine, she's sexy like all German women. I got a German wife, and my wife is beautiful. And, you know, when you look at another German woman, you say, that's why my wife is more sexier than she is. She's German.
Coming up, the team makes a big mistake.
I hit a little snag here. There's no way to wind this clock.
Oh, Mom!
Day 3 begins with the hypnotic call of the cuckoo, luring our builders back to their task, setting a Guinness record for the world's largest cuckoo clock.
What do you think of this?
Was hältst du?
Do you think this will work?
Glaubst du, das Uhrwerk wird funktionieren?
Die Leute sind so gut, ich bin mir sicher, dass es funktioniert.
Knowing the team and how brilliant your people are, that he's certain it's gonna work.
Good PR, man.
Oh! Now, the moment of truth. The clock that we're building actually has 3 plates in here rather than just 2, but so we've got one section together now. And hey, it works. It works.
The second layer of the gearbox contains the gears that will make the coo.
Catch me up, Gats. The next section that goes on here will be the alarm train, which is what drives the cuckoo. Big center. We've got another set of gears. Now that we've sort of got the hang of it, I think we can do it much more quickly. It should just drop. Pull down, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
All right, then let's spin it.
Here it comes.
After assembling the second layer of gears, a preliminary test appears to be a success.
I'm taking out a little bit more. Gotta bring this one up a little bit. We're good.
Right on.
All right. Okay.
Oh, Mom! This is the governor. It's actually gonna create a sail, and it's gonna, so as the cuckoo goes, this thing turns, and this is actually gonna hit wind, and the wind is gonna actually slow it down so this doesn't just, you understand? So it's gonna govern how fast you can go. Good job, looking good.
Hello, my name's Gadget. Hi. Today I'm gonna give you a little lesson about being weird.
As we put this thing together, we're gonna have to be really accurate. We don't really have any room for error. If we screw this up, it won't work. And for us to get our Guinness record, this thing has to work. We can't just build a beautiful clock that just sits there and looks pretty. It has to work.
Well, I hit a little snag here. And after 5 days of late nights, you think it's like you check everything, you got everything. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this is good. I got it. We're done. In my rush to design this clock, to make sure that everything was right, I left one thing out, and I completely overlooked how to wind it. How to wind it. The problem is, this is the chain that carries the weight that drives the whole mechanism. There's no way to wind this clock. Once it hits the bottom, that's it. You got to run it backwards. So I need to make something that moves inside the other with some sort of ratchet mechanism so you can crank it backwards and then have the clock run. I'm going to see if I can redeem myself. Hopefully this works. Since it was just a sort of a quick harebrained idea. It better work. I'll have just screwed up one wheel badly.
Kurt and Eric get to work on the face of the clock.
Yep, we're doing all these lines right here. Cutting all the cross section, we're gonna V-groove it.
Some of the lines on this line up with the pitch of the roof.
The way we had this laid out, they do not match exactly. And I was asking Ralph if that was critical.
Nee, die müssen nicht parallel sein. Das ist,
It's basically all
ist
decorative.
egal.
It's all decorative.
Yeah, Dekoration.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Ist okay.
All right, thank you, sir. A jig is going to hold the router at exactly the right place. It's going to make a straight line coming across there.
I didn't even think you guys were gonna do this.
You know, that was Kurt's idea, and
Oh, this was Kurt's idea?
well, yeah, because he wanted to look more like the model that we had to do it. And this is gonna wake up more than just the chickens in the morning.
This is turning into one of our more ambitious bills even. You know, going so big on this. This is a class act. Since we're building the world's biggest cuckoo clock, I need something to model my cuckoo bird after. So I'm here at Ostrich Land to look at some of the biggest birds in the world, the ostrich. Well, David, thanks for inviting me over to Ostrich Land. Like I told you on the phone, I built the world's largest cuckoo clock, and I'm looking for the world's largest bird to base my cuckoo on.
Here's one about 9 feet tall right here.
Oh, that's big.
That's about as big as they get.
9 feet tall, I like that.
Up to 300 pounds. Here, you can feed
Really?
them and
Whoa!
put it right on the shelf.
Now, I heard they're the fastest two-legged animals in the world.
They are very fast, up to 45 miles an hour.
And they also lay the world's biggest eggs.
It is. It's
Bigger than an alligator.
really a dinosaur egg.
Now, do they have teeth at all, or?
No teeth, so they can't technically bite.
Ah! Has anyone you know ever been killed by an ostrich?
I don't know of anyone.
Yeah, I'd like to get in there and maybe measure one of them, if that's possible.
Okay. He's curious enough to want to see what you're doing, but not enough to let you get right
Yeah.
up on him. They run crazy.
You know, these birds are definitely big enough. They're plump enough, but they don't have that cuckoo ability. You know, they don't make the right sound. And they're not particularly good looking. So what I think I'm gonna go with something that's a little bit better looking.
I'm gonna try working on the cuckoo head. We've got some considerable jowls here. I've got to drop the eyes back and I'm gonna put a beak on it. So this is a process much like marble where I'm just taking it away. It's the same process of working in stone, but I'm just taking it away a lot faster. And if I make a mistake, I can just throw it away and start over again. I'm not drawing any lines right now. I'm just feeling the work. I'm just gonna keep taking a little off at a time. Frank's got a nose for big things, so now he's got a big nose. What a nose. He's so jovial all the time. It just makes me sick.
The team delivers the foam trim for hard coating. Once the spray dries, the pieces will have a hard outer shell. Back at the shop, Gadget has found a solution for winding the clock.
All right, here we are. It's the bottom of the ninth. We've got one more build day and a fraction to go. What I did was to take the router and cut this open. I'm going to put ball bearings on this side with a little wood keeper. And I'll put on one spot here one ratchet that'll catch it going around. And hopefully it'll work.
Right here like this, buddy? Okay.
It comes down low.
All right, yeah.
Comes down. I just slide the shaft up to the bearing. There it is. Whoop!
There it is.
Give it a tug. Let's show them what we can do now.
Now, is that cool or what?
This way we can wind the clock, because otherwise you can run it once and that's it, you know?
Coming up, will this complex cuckoo clock get our crew all wound up?
And makes you go
Crazy!
Here it is. Oh, yeah. Good. All the way around, just the way I want it.
The styrofoam trim pieces have returned from hard coating. They are now ready to be painted and mounted to the big birdhouse we call Cuckoo.
The head got a seatbelt on. Come on, Frank. Let me watch your nose.
Look what I got here for you.
Oh.
Look at this.
Hey, I know that face, but I don't know that face. I'm going on a diet real soon. This has been a pretty amazing build. You know, seeing everything clicking, seeing the artwork come together with the machinery. Nothing has been let loose. It's been a perfect balance of looks, machine, and art. Gotta love it.
So here are our whistles. The way that these work is it just sucks the air in and blows it back across this little reed like a flute. These whistles might be a problem for us. If we scale these up exactly the size, they probably won't be within the range of human hearing. Only whales and elephants would hear them. So when we get to that, we'll have to figure out the biggest ones that we can make or some way around that it still works.
This is one of the bellows that will make the cuckoo sound. It's gonna hang on the back of the clock, and so gravity will hold it open. There's a cam wheel, and it has some little pins sticking out of it, and one of the pins will come around and hit that just enough to blow our whistle. There's a cam back here that on the half hour and the hour lifts. When it gets there, there'll be pressure here. And this will lift, that will fall. It allows this gear to go on one full turn and stops. The cuckoo for sliding is gonna come right out of the center of this thing, right? Mm-hmm. Frank's sculpted head is gonna go on the end of this bar here. And then when the cuckoo goes, it swings forward like this and pokes his head out the door. Boy, this would be a lot easier if his nose was shorter.
Cut his nose off, Christoph.
Just bite his face.
Rip his nose off, about right there.
Let's just don't get premature here. Let's just see if it fits in there. If it doesn't, then we'll trim it to fit.
The cuckoo head is mounted, and the team flies straight into staining the big cuckoo house.
Get some gloves. Lisa went to get some gloves too, so.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do this surface, we're gonna do this surface, and we're gonna do the top surface.
See that?
Well, it's already messed up, so can't do much.
Vapor harmful may affect the brain or nervous system and makes you go crazy.
Well,
So,
Eric, you're in no danger.
When I was
no.
younger, my mother used to make me stain lots and lots of furniture. She liked oak.
Sweet choco latte. I go with that one.
That's Ralph.
What do you think about the color?
Which one?
Das ist gut. Das ist gut.
Yes. So we'll put that and then the English on top.
All right, I'm gonna go make sure we get more of this, and we're gonna go.
The stain is in the house, and Frank has a big idea.
Hey, Lisa, do me a favor. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Just to make Ralph feel a little bit more at home. And, you know, 'cause he's leaving early today and everything for his plane back to Germany. So, hey, Kurt.
Frankie, Frank. You know, Frank, the more we do this and stuff, I'd really start liking you.
In honor of you.
Since you're leaving early today and you're going back to Germany, well, we thought we'd make you feel at home.
Dankeschön.
Yeah, Kurtz. Well, it's come to that time of the evening where Ralph's got to go. Got to fly back to Germany. I just want to thank him for all his hard work. Since you were here to help us make this fine German-American clock, we're going to send you home with one American clock. Here we go. That's Ralph's clock.
When Big comes back,
I'd be really happy to get this in.
time is running out in the team's quest for a Guinness World Record.
If you nail this, I'm buying you dinner.
These are the clock hands I'm working on.
So I'm drilling out the center of the clock hands, and I drew it out. And I want this clock face to look more like wood grain. So I'm using this wood finish stain, and I'm creating streaks and letting that soak in. And then I'll go over the top and make it more uniform. So from a distance, it'll look more wood grain accentuated.
With his staining complete, Christoph cuts numerals for the clock's face out of styrofoam.
It's gonna be an escapement so the clock will help stop itself each time the pendulum moves.
We need that hole that size, right?
Done.
This little bar here is called the escapement. Each time the pendulum goes back and forth, it allows that gear to move, just one tooth each time. The pendulum is what keeps track of time. Depending on its length, it'll move back at different speeds. On the clock that we'll be building, that pendulum will swing back and forth once every 4 seconds.
You want to tilt that forward just.
With time running out, Gadget gathers the pendulum pieces to get our colossal cuckoo ticking.
What we're doing now is checking the accuracy of the clock. According to my calculations, at this length of pendulum, this should be right on.
Frank puts the accuracy of the clock to the test.
If you nail this, I'm buying you dinner.
Okay. So that should give us 1 minute.
We're at the 30-second mark, and it looks pretty close. It looks right. I just. It's scary, man.
Fast or slow?
Slow.
That's where the calculation stage should be, but I was trying to compensate for the weight of that, but maybe we have enough.
Right now, we're looking at the clock being about maybe 1.25 seconds, probably less off per cycle. We're about 1 second fast. But you know, we're eyeballing it, a little human error. You know, we're kind of playing loose with it. But that's close enough for right now.
Let me just put it this way, too. All the brainiac/nerd/geek, whatever you want to say that these people are, man, this guy knows a hell of a lot.
I'll tell you how many. We need.
Why do I yawn whenever you talk, dude? Is it just because you babble like brainiac?
It overwhelms you and you shut down.
God,
Dude,
he sucks my brain out, dude. It's just like, Gadget's like, the biohazardous area of the guacamole is 17.2 degrees south of the
I'm grappling with a couple of dilemmas. Not huge, but time-wise, I've got the whole ridge line that has to be assembled. It'll be crunch. It'll be tight, to be honest with you. Are we getting tired yet?
Okay, let's open the doors. I got a little maneuvering room.
They must now move the massive gear housing into the giant cuckoo house.
You're clear.
Now we have to lay it down flat.
I'll be right back. Yeah, just don't drag that side, Christoph. It'll pop off that board.
All right, watch the bottom. It's going to want to slide out.
All right, we're on a fork now. We're good.
We're good.
It's clear. I'd be really happy to get this in.
Here, yeah.
We can cut some tubes across and support it with little clips. Yeah, since when has anybody put a clock together like this? I'm gonna leave it on the forks.
Yeah. And we're going to
make
drill
the
holes in
holes,
the top, and then we're going to lift it up.
Then we'll line it up.
Yeah.
So we don't need to block it.
Kurt drills holes in the face of the clock so the gears can spin the clock's hands.
Keep going. Now you're lined up. You're there.
What?
I'm seeing rods.
Tape this and cut some posts.
Let's just set the jacks so they're all the same, and I'll just lift it up.
There you go. Okay.
Hey, guys, let you know you got 30 minutes left.
Bracket.
All right, keep working. Not trying to be a jerk.
All right.
Okay, you jerk.
Watch the nose.
With time ticking, the team scrambles to mount the cuckoo head.
There we go.
It's just clear.
Lisa swoops into action and welds the gear housing to the frame of the cuckoo.
You know, I love metal, but this, I have to say, is beautiful. Gadget outdone itself on the design.
I think all of us. I mean, yeah, Gadget with the design.
Yeah, and just everybody.
Yeah, back and the artwork
and Kurt and Ralph. It's just been amazing.
Everyone's been walking around with a smile on their face.
You can't help it. It's
I know.
It's a hoopla atmosphere.
Come on, let's stand this thing up here.
Let's do it.
We need somebody on the other
Mr.
side.
The team gets their giant cuckoo ready for its maiden flight.
Perfect!
Good.
Yeah.
Frankie.
With the clock assembled, it is ready to face the test. The Big Cuckoo is in full plume for its examination by Stuart Claxton from Guinness World Records.
Okay, Frank, that's 18 feet, 11 and a half inches from the top to the bottom. Total length of the clock housing is 12 feet, 8 1/8 inch.
Check.
Stuart scrutinizes every inch of our big clock.
Is exactly 8 feet. Depth of the clock housing is 4 feet.
Coming up, Stuart puts the clock to the test, and the team is in for a big surprise. The moment of truth has arrived. The Big Cuckoo is finally ready to fly its coop.
We're here right now at German Day Fest at Alpine Village in Torrance, California. Right now, the builders are putting on the finished pieces around the clock. Unfortunately, we're missing Gadget and we're missing Eric.
Anybody heard from Gadget?
Gadget's not coming. Gadget is in Burning Man, and I don't think Eric's going to show up either. So it's
No
just
Eric,
us.
no Gadget.
Wow,
huh?
so we're down to Eric. That's going to hurt, and it's definitely going to be hurting pretty bad on not having Gadget here. But
Well, like I said, to make it work, at this point, it's not that complicated.
Life goes on.
Yeah, it'll either work or it won't at this point.
As soon as we get these pieces put on, we're gonna attach the chains to the weights, and we're gonna get this baby ticking, and we're going for a Guinness World Record.
With the midday temperature hovering in the low 90s, the team has little trouble working up a sweat.
Heavy. I'm down here on the ground watching them sweating, so you know how they feel. I usually go up when I'm on it by myself, but with 2 or 3 people plus the weight of things, I have to stay on the ground unless I go up by myself. I think it's really coming along really quick, fast. Given, you know, it's just the two.
Kurt and Christoph attach the final piece.
And you have to take your time with it because you can chip the pieces and break it. So it's delicate and humongous at the same time.
With the trim installed on our crazy Cuckoo, all that's left are the pendulum, chain, and weights.
the weight inserted in the leaf?
Yeah, the weight is in the leaf.
Cool. It's really too bad old Ralph, our German friend, is not here. Forest. Yeah, he's back in the Black Forest right now.
The 90-pound weights are wheeled in. Soon this bird will fly.
Gadget, if it don't work, I'm gonna knock you out.
What's the dealio here?
Well, the deal is we need to lift those weights off the ground, swing the pendulum and see if this thing works.
Here we go. Oh, be careful with that mug.
Same thing, you pull on the wire there.
You sure you can do it?
No, but we'll give it a try. Oh, there. One more click.
They need to go pretty high, don't they?
No, that's good, that's it, right there.
Just to run it.
And look at that.
All right.
Okay, just so you know, Stuart Claxton from Guinness World Records is gonna be here in a little bit. We're gonna do a real test to make sure he keeps time. So we'll probably have a digital clock up there, and we're gonna time it, and we can prove the functionality of it. We're in a record book, folks. All right.
Cool.
Okay, right now it's time for the men's competition of the beer stein holding competition. You guys ready?
Yeah!
Oh, yes. You gotta love it. Okay. It doesn't start yet. Just this is your mug. Get to know it. Hold on to it. That's your stein, I should say. In case, depending on what part of Germany you're from, it could be your steen. There you go. Your stein. Your stein.
It's too heavy.
Well, it should be heavy. Okay. The winner gets to keep the mug. So you get to keep the stein. Intimidation look. Let's see an intimidation look. Intimidate them. Okay. And they're off. I see you're doing a 3-finger hold over here. The old camel toe.
Come on, get him straight out. Straight out. This is my lipstick on my face. Straight out. Lift them up. Straight out. Lift them up.
I don't have so long arms.
I can hold it down here.
Oh, he's
Get
out
him
of the
straight out.
We have one man out. One man's out.
Come on, let's get it straight. Get that elbow up. Get the elbow up. Get it up.
Okay. They yell at him like that. Nice try. It's the old timers. Old timers. Hey! You won. You're next.
You're a cheater, you know that?
No, he gets to keep the mug. He won.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, he won.
I'm the 70-year-old.
So you're 70 years old? Yes. What's your name?
Heinz Müller.
Heinz Müller.
Yeah! Take it, take it! Take it, take it! Hey, hey, hey!
Our colossal cuckoo is drawing a crowd as the moment of truth arrives.
Okay, hey folks, thank you very much for coming out here today. And give yourself a round of applause. All right. You can see this cuckoo clock right here. We built this in 5 days. Can you believe it? 5 days, and we're going for a Guinness World Record. Okay?
Stuart Claxton from Guinness World Records looks on.
What we're gonna do now is we're gonna set the second-hand set, and we're gonna compare it to an LED readout. We're gonna see that we have a perfect minute. Okay? So that's our first thing we want to do. Find out that we have a perfect minute. So, when it gets to the top, I'm going to say go. I'm going to hit the LED readout. And... go! It's close, it's close. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The anxious team gathers around Stuart.
All right, everybody. Well, I've certainly seen the cuckoo clock work, and it certainly keeps time. However, on this occasion, there's a small problem with the ornamentation in that it is made of styrofoam, which is not what an original size cuckoo clock is made of. So, unfortunately, we cannot accept it as a new Guinness World Record, but I still would like to say great effort and well done, at least on getting the cuckoo clock up there. Congratulations for that. So.
Hey, I still love it. No one out here said anything about it being made out of foam. I look at it this way, it didn't make a world record, but we have a world's biggest cuckoo clock.
Toast to the clock.
To the clock.
To the clock.
May you always keep time faithfully.